5. I'm Wemimo Adewuni.
I am Sheriff Quadry. Also, don't forget to drop your comment as we go along on the show. We'll be taking comments on those portals mentioned by Wemimo earlier. So, the rising case of alleged murder of women by serial killers in Port Harcourt has sparked up condemnations, with Nigerians calling for the protection of girls and women in Port Harcourt, the capital of Rivers. According to reports, the victims, who are women, are usually found strangled and gagged with a white handkerchief, just as seen on the faces of the murdered girls and ladies online. Now, news making the rounds also suggested that more than 10 women have been killed, while activists during protests over the weekend and even yesterday asserted that up to 20 women have been killed, and said the protests will continue until security is restored. Rivers State Commissioner Police Dandaura said they had only 8 verifiable cases, with the first of the victims murdered in the past 2 months, since July, that is. Also, the Rivers State Police commanders advised young women to shun prostitution. Whether this is as a result of prostitution or not, it's part of our focus this morning on the show. Protesters are saying women in Port Harcourt are vulnerable to the rising attacks, ignoring that she is someone's mom, someone's daughter. The victim could even be someone's wife trying to earn a living and not a prostitute. Now, early on Monday, Twitter users expressed outrage and displeasure over the unfortunate killings through the hashtag created, hashtag protect PH girls, hashtag protect PH women, and hashtag PHC serial killer. All these hashtags were actually trending on Twitter. Now, police in the state, in Rivers State, says it has arrested another suspected serial killer who attempted to strangle a girl in a hotel at Rumokoro. A spokesman of the police command in Rivers, Nnamdi Amoni, said this while speaking to Nigeria Info. He was on our show in our Port Harcourt studio, Nigeria Info FM's Morning Crossfire. They have a listen to this.
Asked them what happened. The lady said that he took her and booked that hotel room, and in the night, while she was asleep, the man took a towel, wanted to strangulate her. So as he woke up, they started struggling, and she was shouting. That's what drew the attention of the people outside there. So, in part, I just finished interviewing the suspect and the victim. So far, we have sealed 3 hotels now. We have sealed them down. We have closed these 3 hotels and we have sealed them. So we want to assure you that we are not sleeping here. We have been trying our best to see that these cultist activities that is happening must be brought to an end. We are going to end this menace. It's a menace. They have so many ways of operating these cultists. Apart from they have their own target. Maybe they are trying to achieve some issues there. But we assure them that we assure you that we are going to hold them and we are going to arrest all of them.
All right, there you have the police spokesman of the police in Rivers State who was addressing the protesters there. Also, the secretary to the Rivers State government, Tammy Danagogo, spoke about this incident extensively. Take a listen to this.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this is a very, very serious matter. A very, very serious matter. But not coming here and seeing the caliber of people. I want to most heartily thank you for coming here. Apparently, from what you have said, your appeal is to the president, to the governor, and to the police. It's a concern for everybody. I can assure you that the governor is heavily concerned. Personally, I am heavily concerned. We have held several Security Council meetings with all the security agents in the state and discussed what should be done. Most of the issues you talked about, like cameras, CCTVs, proper documentations, all that have been taken into consideration.
All right, there you go. We have joining us right now, correspondent from Port Harcourt, Emmanuel Owoka. Thanks for joining us, Emmanuel.
Yes, can you hear me?
Emmanuel, yes, you might need to speak into your phone so we can get you clearer, if that's possible. Okay. All right, Emmanuel?
Go back. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can, but you still sound quite faint, so you might need to speak closer into your phone. We also have on the line Rita Mali Kembeze Idono, who's the president Rotary Club of Port Harcourt South District, N141 Nigeria. Good morning. Thanks for joining us, madam.
Good morning.
Many thanks for joining us. If you've listened to those audio that we played to you, you realize that there were protests that happened in the past days on this matter, and the matter has been keenly followed by the police. Let me start with you. Emmanuel, are you in a noisy place? Hello, Emmanuel.
Emmanuel, we lost Emmanuel's connection there. We'll get back to Emmanuel. I'm sure that he will try to get to a very quiet place. Then we'll reach out to him and get him back on the line. Absolutely.
So, Mrs. Idono, let's start with this issue. There have been conversations around this being the fault of these ladies because they were sex workers. With what you've gathered, is this so?
Good morning. Mm-hmm. I feel very sad. I feel very heartbroken when I hear the phrase that those women, those girls, were sex workers. The question I ask is, because I am a sex worker, does anybody have the right to take my life? The answer is no. Look, I am not just a Rotary president, a Rotary Club president. My classification is legal practice. I am a lawyer, a seasoned one. Section 33 sub 1 of the 1999 Constitution says the only time one's life, a criminal's life, can be taken is when a competent court has sat over a matter. Notice it's a criminal matter and has done all their process and found that person guilty. Let me also inform that if that matter is taken in the lower court, let's say a magistrate court, that person, that so-called condemned person, has the right to go and appeal to the High Court.
Right.
And then when he goes to the High Court, if it's still against him, he still has the same right to go and appeal to the Court of Appeal. And then finally to the Apex Court. Interestingly, most of the times, he could even get judgment at the Apex Court. And then police somewhere, the ordinary should safeguard the lives of humans. Will say to my face, police commissioner will say to my face that those girls were prostitutes. I take exception to that vehemently.
Indeed.
One of the audio that we played earlier was from the Commissioner of Police, Mustafa Dandura, who narrated how a third suspected serial killer was arrested earlier yesterday. So they've caught this serial killing. What this implies is that there's one person who is murdering these girls. Is that what this really is in your conversations with the police? Is it one person doing all of this, or there are many men who are doing this?
Well, to us, very concerned women in Rotary and female organizations in River State, particularly Port Harcourt, we are not interested whether it's one person or two persons or a group of persons. We are saying a stop to the killing, and whatever they have to do, they have to do it. They have to do it fast. Listen, I'm not saying they aren't working. I'm not saying the police aren't working or the government isn't doing anything. But I'm saying that there should be more energy focused on this aspect. Look, do we have to all die? Do we have to all die before they wake up? Do we have to all die?
That's a big question.
Our mothers are there. Our sisters, our friends. As I speak to you, I have a sister who is a copper in Cross River State. She is vulnerable. I mean, it could be her. It could be any other person.
Right. Rita, very quickly, what figure do you have as to the number of casualties? The police said the official number they have is just 8. And unofficially, we're hearing up to 20. What do you know?
The one I know is about 12 as of yesterday. That's the figure we have.
12. But the police say they have about 8 cases at hand. But let's speak with Emmanuel. Emmanuel, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, welcome back. Good morning. Emmanuel, you have gone to many of those hotels where the ladies were killed.
Right.
Describe to us what those hotels look like.
Okay, some of the hotels initially that the incidents were happening were motels. I'll refer to them as motels.
Right.
That's just like a guest house setting behind and a bar in the front. So most of these motels are used by call girls for short hourly periods,
right,
where their clients come to them. So this is where most of the incidents initially happened. Most of the killings had been taking place, and these places do not have CCTV cameras. They are low-budget hotels that do not have CCTV cameras. So the killer can easily get away or disappear from the hotels, and their security is not even that strong.
Right.
Indeed.
So those are the type of hotels that it has been happening. They are very low budget, and they are very difficult to find.
Exactly. I was going to ask accessibility to these places. Are they remotely, situated, or they are in town where people can easily have access
everywhere. To it? They're so scattered everywhere. Like the place the police arrested a criminal, a suspect yesterday at Rumokoro. The place is so close to the Rumokoro junction, but there's no way you can tell that is actually a hotel.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Because it doesn't have a signpost. It doesn't have anything that makes it look like this is actually being used as a hotel. There are so many shops at the side of it that you can't even tell if something is happening in there or not. So
Well,
it is totally invincible.
On that arrest that was made recently, luckily the lady escaped because she shouted and people came into a rescue. Again, I'll play to you this audio by the Commissioner of Police in the state, who narrated to the audience how the third suspected serial killer was arrested. That was yesterday.
We now asked them what happened. The lady said that he took her and booked that hotel room, and in the night while she was asleep, the man took a towel, wanted to strangulate her. So as he woke up, they started struggling, and she was shouting. That's what drew the attention of the people outside there. So, in part, I just finished interviewing the suspect and the victim.
Right, there you have it. That was the Commissioner of Police. Emmanuel, we hear that the police in Rivers State has directed all hotels in the state to install CCTV cameras. But these incidences take place in motels. What's the plan to secure these motels? In fact, I'm not even sure that many of these motels are registered. So how do we even know where they all are in the state?
Yes, that is also a very big difficulty because, like I said earlier, they are low-budget hotels, so they don't have the qualification to be registered by the Rivers State Hotelers Association. So most of the time is that you can't even locate these places. So how do you tell each and every one of them to register? I think they fall under the association of probably bars, if they have a bar association, which I'm actually going to look into today because I had a conversation with the chairman of Hotelers Association last night. And he told me that there's no way they can register those motels into being part of the association.
Indeed.
Because they don't have the criteria to be part of it.
Emmanuel,
so there is no association for these motels?
For these motels? No, they don't have any umbrella?
So far, we don't have any umbrella body.
Indeed.
They are known, they are just scattered around the city. Like everywhere in the city, you can have like 3 in a street, and you can't even tell if these places are there. Some of them are like private buildings, but inside of it, there's a lounge, and you have where some girls reside, just like that. They are like they are more even like brothels sometimes.
Emmanuel, very quickly, I'm not sure you spoke with the police. I'm not sure you've spoken with the police yet. But if you have spoken with the motel managers that you've visited so far, they must have evidence, 1 or 2 evidence as to the MO, that's the mode of operations of these killers. Because the name we're brandishing right now, the name we're going with right now is serial killer. Do we have any confirmation that, it's serial killing or it's just random killing?
Okay. On that aspect, I would say we refer to it as serial killing, not serial killer. Okay. The reason is because the last incident that we have that I visited yesterday was at a hotel around Murumudumaya. The incident took place on Monday and was discovered on Tuesday. Now, that hotel was where the CCTV footage that had been carried by bloggers came out from.
Okay.
But that footage is very unclear.
I saw the video.
Yes, the footage is already is very unclear, but the person in the video has been identified and sent. The photo has been shared widely among hoteliers to give to their receptionist, so that if he's identified at any hotel, he would be apprehended.
Indeed.
What makes this a bit difficult is we don't have enough data on citizens. So anyone could go to one part of the state and just appear at the other end, and no one would know that he's the one. Now, the police has also said this might be tied to cultism. Is there any relation between these killings and cultism?
From the police spokesman himself, he said that this might be tied to cultism. Our investigation is still ongoing. Though the police have done their own investigation, we are still carrying out our own investigation on this matter to see what we can, phantom out of it. Because
what have you heard so far, whether it's related to cultism or not? I mean, what have you heard so far?
The word on the street is that it's probably ritual killing. The only problem we're having is that the girls, no body parts of the girls are being harvested. That's just the problem we're having.
Okay. So
but with the recent arrest by the police, we are hoping that the guy or the man that was arrested will be able to give the police more information, because I don't think this is cultism, because if it's cultism, then it is like an organized crime. Well, we're having like 3-4 persons arrested on the matter. Shows that there's seemingly no tie within these persons.
Indeed.
Yes.
Rotary and Rita, let's come to you very quickly now. You seem not pleased with the activities of the police so far as regards in apprehending, this killer or killers in this matter. Why so?
I say so because one would have expected that, from the beginning of this whole killing and all that, there should be serious investigation and then press statements and all that. Sometimes, even when you do not mean what you say, but at least just come and say something, Imagine that 3 days ago I read in the paper that a police officer, a high-ranking police officer, said that these women are prostitutes. I took this a pinch of finger like salt. I was like, okay, probably that's not what he meant or something. Up until yesterday, the commissioner of police, Rivers State, looked at me on my face and said to me that those girls were prostitutes.
Does that justify their killing?
Good question. I asked him, sir, how could you say that? Because I'm a prostitute. Do I deserve to die? Who has the right to take my life?
So the big question on this is that prostitution is illegal in Nigeria.
Right.
However, being a lady found in a hotel or a motel doesn't mean
make
that
you a
you're
prostitute.
a sex worker.
I don't know if I can come in here.
Yes, please, Emmanuel.
Yes, let me clarify something here. I'm not speaking on behalf of the police or anything, but all the cases, I took it upon myself, and our news team took it upon ourselves to investigate all these cases independently and go to each and every hotel and follow up each and every case to confirm their authenticity. Because of the random numbers of deaths that we're hearing. We want to confirm each and every case by ourselves.
Right.
And that is why we've been visiting the hotels ourselves.
Right.
Let me make it well known that all the cases that I've covered and all the cases that I am aware of, that I can speak for, are all prostitutes. We should not shy away from the truth.
They were trading sex.
Yes, they were trading sex. Now, in this case, we should just say the truth the way it is and leave the other part. Now, the reason I think the police is actually bringing that part out, that it is prostitutes, is because it's to make people aware that these are who the targets are.
Okay.
Most of the targets are prostitutes. It's a known fact. Please.
Mrs. Rita,
Go on, Mrs. Rita.
Please go ahead.
Go on.
I don't know where this reporter has gotten all his investigations. I'm not even interested. Apparently, he has his facts. But the point I say, look, I am not just speaking as a president, Rotary Club of Port Harcourt, and as a woman. I am speaking as a lawyer. The question I ask is, in as much as prostitution is not legalized in Nigeria, and well, there's no written law to it whether it's legalized or is illegal and all that. The question I ask is that: does any man have the right to take anybody's life?
And the big answer to that will be
I'm
no.
sure the answer is no.
Let's look at it. What are you talking about?
But
What are you talking about?
Mrs. Rita, hold on, Emmanuel, just hold on for a moment. Mrs. Rita, what Emmanuel is saying is that it could be a possibility that the police is just shedding light on the target of the serial killers.
I understand everybody what they're saying, but the point I'm making is that I think that the police didn't present the matter properly.
Okay.
They didn't. There are ways you can tell a man go to hell, and he ask you, how high do I go? Which route do I take? What do I wear to go to hell?
Right. So there are allegations that these are sex workers and that they have been killed at motels. Whether they were truly sex workers or not, we have lost human lives, and the target have been women.
Absolutely.
Targeted by men who find them in vulnerable positions.
Exactly our point.
And take their lives. We'll go on a very quick break. We ask you to please hold the line. Nigeria, you can join us after the break on Facebook. We're there on YouTube also. You can watch us and leave us a comment about this conversation about 12 lives. The police say there are 8 have been lost, and in a series of killings happening to women in Rivers State. This might be happening in other states too, but there's been a high rise in Rivers State right now. We'll be back shortly after this break. Please stay on the line. We'll join you again shortly. I'm Wemimo Adewuni.
And I'm Sheriff Quadry.
From your #1 talk news and sports station. This is the Morning Crossfire with Wemimo and Sheriff. Your #1 talk news and sports station. This is the Morning Crossfire with Wemimo and Sheriff.
This This is the Morning Crossfire 99.3 Nigeria Info Lagos, and you are listening to our conversation in the past hour. We've been looking at the serial killing of women in Rivers State, and this has taken a very dirty turn as the police has named this serial killing and is targeted at women in vulnerable positions, especially in motels in the state. What this has highlighted is a need for urgent security measures in place to stop these killings. One still happened yesterday. Luckily, the lady was rescued because she screamed for help. I guess she realized in time. The police have said so many things, including that those who were killed were sex workers, and that those who killed them also might be cultists. They say investigation is going on, but the question we're asking is, one person has been arrested. Is thorough investigation going on to find the other men who are doing this and bring them to book? We have on the line Rotarian Rita Mali Kembeze Idono, who's the president, Rotary Club of Port Harcourt, South District 9141 Nigeria. Thanks for holding the line.
Thank you.
Emmanuel Owuka is also on the line here. He's a correspondent in Port Harcourt who has personally visited all of those places where the ladies were killed and has given us a first-hand account of what's going on. The Rivers State Police Commissioner said in a statement late on Tuesday that officers have arrested a suspect who had made useful confessions and they are pursuing other accomplices. According to the commissioner, they suspect that the murders were for ritual practices. If you remember, in Lagos, we had a high incident once which of Bado boys, people being killed there, gory, very gory, being smashed, and used for rituals. This might be what is also happening in Rivers State. But let me ask you quickly, Mrs. Rita Idono.
Yes.
Now, what this has also shown us is that there is a high number of ladies trading sex in Port Harcourt. If, according to the report we've had, there are several motels, even in areas you would hardly think that are motels. It means that ladies either are not well educated or are not getting enough jobs, are not well employed, and they have to trade their bodies for money in these areas. Do you see a conscious effort from the government to engage women, to train them, to give them skills and to educate them? Is there a high number of girls being educated in Rivers State?
Well, that's a very sensitive question, and it's nice it's coming at this point. I think that for education, the Rivers girl is doing very well. But for employment and engagement, I'm not sure I am very certain about the percentage. Well, like you said, the need has a reason right now. There's a need. Because if we're gainfully employed, or trained in any kind of trade, I do not think that, let me speak as a woman. I mean, why should I sleep with one or more than a man? I'm not just talking because I'm a married woman, but I talk as a single woman. You know what it means, the psychological effect and all that, to sleep with different men. And these are men you do not know from Adam. In nice time.
Right.
I think that the government should sit up. It's an eye-opener. It's a current call to everybody. It's not just the government. Listen, the government can't do everything. The government mustn't do everything.
That's right.
We have other persons, other organizations that can actually lay a voice to this. If you engage a woman, you have saved the nation. Please. So I want to also use BBW to call on River State government and industrialists here in Port Harcourt, businessmen, women. It is high time we look inward and encourage these women. Even though I know some of us, even if you give us some work to do and all that, we still want to do what we want to do, but let it be that, let's be on record, that the government has done their bits, individuals have done their bits, and all that.
Do we still have a strong cultural bias against girls going to school in Rivers State?
Of course. That's in few remote communities. But let me also comment here. I'm like I said to you, I'm a lawyer. And I'm also a member of the Federation of Women Lawyers. And we have done so well in this area. Before now, it's been like, okay, there's no point training a girl child, because when you train her, she goes to get married to some other man and then ends up in his kitchen. My maiden name is Alalibo. Today I'm no longer Alalibo because I'm married to one man.
Right.
Right. Right.
So that has been it. But I think that with the FIDA River State branch has done a lot of work on this. They need to train women. They need to train girl child. If I wasn't trained, I don't think I would be the one to initiate such a global protest yesterday.
Right.
If I wasn't educated than my parents, I don't think Nigeria Info will want to talk to me.
Absolutely.
Engage me on the talk.
Absolutely.
So we need more girls and more women to be trained.
Emmanuel, very quickly, let me come to you, Emmanuel. Emmanuel, you're still on the line, right? Please confirm.
Yes, I'm here.
Absolutely. So there were reports that it took police some time for them to react to these killings. As a matter of fact, I read a report online that the police were trying to cover some of the killings up until the media got wind of it, and the media told the stories. You were from our newsroom in Port Harcourt, and I know our newsroom to be very, very efficient. What was it like from the beginning when this killing started? Was there any reaction from the police authority, or it was just some fake news in the public space then?
Okay, the first incidents that occurred, or the first line of incidents that occurred, we didn't see any response from the River State Police Command. We didn't see any response from the River State government.
Okay.
They were just mere incidents that we were struggling to confirm. We had one. The first very one was at Rumola. Then the next one happened at D-Line. And that was the one that, brought a lot of media attention. The one that even happened at Rumola at the first time did not even see much media attention to that one. There were just few persons who covered it. But the response of the police, of the Nigerian police force, was actually what sparked, online outrage and this protest that has, happened.
What was the response?
They were a bit silent. They were a bit silent, like they were trying to hold back on the matter.
Okay.
So they didn't respond quickly. But let me ask you, Mrs. Idino, do you have trust in the Nigerian police in Rivers State to handle this issue and ensure that there are no more cases?
I think that
Emmanuel, hold on, Emmanuel. Mrs. Dino, please go on.
Permit me at this point. I'm afraid I do not have trust on the River State police commissioner or police command to do anything. I'm afraid. I said to you that he looked at me on my face, looked at all the women there, and said that those people are killed because they are prostitutes. Such a man, I do not have confidence in him. I'm sorry. Does anything? If the federal government can come in, they are better coming. If the international community should come in, they are better coming. I'm so glad that this protest is not just local, but it's global. Let me inform that BBC London has it. And what's it called? Every other international televisions and radios. It's a global fight. So it's not limited to River State alone. That's just my happiness on this issue.
That other people will be looking into it.
Confidence. Yes, I do not have, as a person. Mr. Mali Kembe say you don't know. The president, Rotary Club of Harcourt South. This is 9141. I am saying unequivocally that I do not have confidence in that man.
Emmanuel, you have related with the police. Do you think they're on top of this and they really can handle this situation?
Okay, yesterday I visited one of the hotels at Sumudmaya where the latest girl was was found dead on Tuesday. And I saw the police forensic team and we worked together into the hotels and they did their duties at that place. Now, I think that the police is actually doing their best on it. But this is more of an investigative case than a tactical one. There are a lot of challenges when it comes to investigative policing down here in the South, and even in most places in Nigeria. When it comes to investigation, we usually just somehow lack manpower to be able to get it down. It's not a tactical team. I trust the police tactical teams to be in River State to be able to do a lot, but the intelligence gathering is an issue. It's an issue, especially when it has to do with ensuring someone's privacy and right is not infringing at the hotel.
Right.
And
while they're
also
investigating.
Exactly, and ensuring that, and
let me
also when they have motels open at the River State, unregistered hotels, motels open in River State. Now, when you have these two things side by side, it poses a very big challenge because at a motel they can't ask you to present your ID card. Most of the people that are in River State,
let me tell you, Emmanuel.
Mostly patronize.
Let me tell you, Emmanuel. Let me tell you. The communique that we sent to the River State government, the police commissioner, the DSSS, the Council Assembly, we said one, that those hotels that cannot have those cameras and all that should be shut down. And then for those hotels that can have CCTV cameras, those ones should make sure they operate. If they cannot also operate, they should also shut down. What do you mean by they cannot get information about somebody and that you're invading somebody's privacy? What do you mean by that? Are they going to the person's room? We are saying simple. We are saying truth is that
when I say infringing on somebody's privacy, please understand that. When I say no. I think you didn't get that.
Hold on, Emmanuel. Hold on.
When I said that infringement of someone's privacy, I mean in the room at the hotel.
There is no way.
You don't know what's happening in the room at the hotel.
All right. So
they can go into their rooms. They are saying that. Are you saying that the person, whoever again, to just fly from the roof into a room?
Mrs. Idono. Mrs. Idono, can you?
Is it because they are women?
Can you hear?
It's not for the feeling of these women.
Mrs. Idono.
Nobody deserves to die.
Mrs. Idono.
Nobody deserves to take anybody's life. Not even a man's life.
Mrs. Idono, can you hear me? It's just a case of misunderstanding. I'm sure that the both of you agree because you are saying that once the person steps in, the camera should capture the person.
Exactly.
And once the person gets to the receptionist, they take the data of the person.
Exactly my point.
And Emmanuel is saying that, if the person gets into the room, the police can go and bust the rooms of motels. That will amount to invasion of privacy. And you are not saying such thing. You are not saying that. So that's what I'm trying to explain, that both of you actually agree.
You are holding the stick at both ends.
Exactly.
But there is a tweet by a Twitter user, Benny Murren, on the 16th of September, who put up a picture of one of the ladies who have died with an RIP, that's a rest in peace inscription, that says that, he's saying, I'm going to read, quote, "So Precious, who is a mother of 3 who went to deliver goods, is now a prostitute." A lady, she says, the lady whose photograph appears on the first placard is Precious Steve, a mother of 3, responsible, decent, and hardworking. So it looks like it might not be totally true that all of these ladies are sex workers. Some of them are baited to come deliver.
They sell stuff and all that.
Yes.
Can I come in here?
Hold on, Emmanuel. Hold on.
The Precious girl. I went to Emirates College, in one of the private secondary schools here in Port Harcourt. This girl was two classes below me. She's married with children. She had only gone there to perhaps supply a product or something. That case I know very well. We didn't now say that person is a prostitute. I mean, what are we talking about?
There might also be cases of a guy. There might also be cases of a guy and a lady who are in a relationship and decide to go to a motel. I mean, it's pretty hard. But Emmanuel,
like I said earlier, most of the cases, I didn't say all of the cases. My anger about the last press briefing by the police that I missed, I was not really happy because I was outside investigating a hotel while the incident was taking place. So I wasn't able to catch up. But there was one thing I wanted the police to do to us.
If you didn't catch up.
One thing I wanted to ask the police to do for us was to profile each and every person, present their pictures, and tell us the 8 victims you've so far collated. Tell us who they are, their jobs, everything about them. That is what should be entailed in that press briefing. They did not yet done these things. They're just giving us a figure.
We need a profiling
proper
of these
profiling. We don't have yet.
Profiling of each and every of the victims. This will enable, it will enable us identify these people better. One, then it will stop this incident of, if they are more prostitution prostitutes or not
sex
prostitutes.
worker or not.
Everybody, yes, everybody will, understand that these are the class of people. Then we will be able to understand with the police that this is probably the target of this.
All right, let me read some messages from WhatsApp. We have loads of them. I will be opening the phone lines just in a moment. Deji from First Sex says about the Port Harcourt stranglers. Our law enforcement agencies need to step up their game and stop the unbelievable excuses. What happened to patrols and informing the public so they know to take precautionary measures? Knowledge of psychological profiles is key in knowing or investigating not only how, but what type of individuals would do something like this. Leaving a call card and what the stressors would trigger it could be. You sound like a psychologist. He's got more comments there. Okay, we also have one from Mr. Nkankak who says, good morning, is there no lodgers register at those motels? Like, don't people lodge? Don't they?
So, my dear.
Right. Also here, Olushoga Ajayi from Odonla Ikorodu says, even if they are sex workers, remember the term is sex workers, not prostitute, okay? Even if they are sex workers, does that mean they should be killed? They are human beings, for God's sake. The primary responsibility of government is to provide security to its citizens, whether sex worker or not. All right. The comments are coming in. A final one for now. Whatever the police want to term it, let them term it. This is connected with ritual killings. So they have those who send them. Okay, I think you mean they have patrons.
Yeah.
He said like the Bados in Ikorodu. He says, it's sure this has to do with money rituals. But let's give you the phone numbers.
That's right.
So you can join the conversation right now.
Talk to us. Let's have an easy conversation. On 99.3 Nigeria Info. I am listening. Call us on 01-277-0993, 01-277-1993, 01-277-2993, and 01-277-3993. This is Nigeria Info. We are listening.
Yes, this is Nigeria Info. We are listening. Let's squeeze in some comment from Facebook before we go to the phone line.
That's right. Let me start with this one on Twitter. The catalyst said, it's terrible how we have degenerated as humans into barbarism. It's so sad and painful. Prostitutes or sex workers, I should say, have a right to live. Corporates should be brought to justice. Now, quickly now, let's go over to the calls and see who is here.
Owolabi is calling us from Ibejileki. Owolabi, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the show.
You are welcome, madam. The topic of today is very interesting. Why? Because similar thing has been flashed. Somebody has posted similar thing on Facebook recently. She was being lured, even in this Lagos, to an hotel. She's a businesswoman. She sells some groceries, and they called her to come and supply at the hotel. Getting to the hotel, she refused to enter the room that they should come and meet her at the reception. They refused. She refused to go and meet them at the reception. I believe this could be the same set of people that are going about.
Right.
So there has to be serious awareness about this kind of a thing.
Right. Thank you.
I don't believe it is limited to prostitution alone.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Thank you so very much. Thank you. So we need to keep the comments short, please.
Appreciate your time.
WhatsApp also, Ezekiel from Isolo says, good morning, Sheriff and Wemimo. I think it's ritual killing because none of the girls killed. Oh, it says none of the girls killed were harvested. It says they only invoke their spirits before killing them. How do you know? It says the police are only making sex workers in the state to beware because they are targeted as victims. Also here we have long. Okay.
That's quite long.
I have to
quite
skip.
long.
Let's go to the phone line.
Yes, Taiwo is here from Ejigbo. Taiwo, good morning to you.
Good morning, Sheriff and Wemimo.
Good morning.
The tension is so high this morning.
Yes, it is.
God will help us. Firstly, the first thing I was expecting your reporter in Harcourt to have said, he actually, he said that at the tail end of, his coming, we need to get a kind of profiling of the victims.
Right.
That will really help us. It's very important. At the same time, I want to admonish the woman, the lawyer, the Rotary,
Mrs. Idono.
Yes, they should engage the women more in education. They should educate them. Actually, we know. Ordinarily, we will think that most of those those victims are prostitutes. Ordinarily, even
sex
though we have
workers.
not investigated. Sex workers anyway. We have not investigated. But then, education, enlightenment will help us, to reduce this kind of menace. God will help us.
Thank you so much. On Facebook, we have Ayodele Ayola who says, I'm so happy with you guys, but Wemimo and Sheriff, go out between 11 p.m. and 12 a.m. on Thursdays, Fridays and Saturdays in Lagos and its environment and see that what they're doing in PH is child's play.
Yeah, I know that.
I know what you're talking about.
But I know that.
Prince Shola Shodeke says the CCTV should be the minimum standard. Tobechiku Kame says, God bless Nigeria Info. You guys are doing a good job. Thank you. Idenala Anthony Oshoke says on Facebook, the government should enact laws that would compel hotels to have necessary security gadgets to facilitate investigation in serial killings of this nature.
Davis is here from Ikoyi. Davis, good morning to you.
Yeah, David.
Good morning.
Morning. Welcome to the show.
I'm listening about the conversation that is going on. And I want to contribute. You see, what is going on now, you see, not all the ladies that you see that go to the hotel are prostitutes.
Sex workers. Call them.
Sorry?
Sex workers, you mean?
Not all of them are prostitutes.
Sex workers is a
You
better
have
term.
house girls. You have some, even married women that, maybe in one way or the other, the husband differentiated them off, having fun with them. So some men will go out there, talk to them, and eventually they will just agree. And when they agree, they go in there to have fun with them to satisfy themselves. You understand me?
Right.
So not every female you see in a hotel or motel is a sex worker. All right, Davies. Thank you so much for calling. Appreciate your time. I'll take this comment from Twitter. Delani Roberts said, truth is, protecting the hotel's image means encouraging these acts to continue. If a hotel is called out, others will better their security. These are humans, for God's sake. It's sickening. Ladies, we should please stay safe. That's right.
We also have Joy Forever on Twitter who says, these are ritual killings. Still wondering how it's taking long to solve. Hoteliers should have CCTV and record of users even for short time. Even if they are sex workers, they must be protected. An end must come to this menace. Also a comment in here on Twitter from an excellent Nigeria who says, no human has a right to be killed, be it a sex worker. It's against humanity. CCTV should be installed in all hotels. And meanwhile, this has nothing to do with employment. We have ladies hawking, shopping, and so on. So he's saying ladies can find alternatives. WhatsApp is agog. I can't go through everything. But Alfred from Alagbado says, good morning. It is unprofessional of the police force to come out to say the victims are sex workers just to downplay the crime. A proper profiling of each victim will go a long way to help police in capturing these serial killers and the way they lure their victims.
Indeed. Jeff is here from Amuwodo. Jeff, good morning to you.
Yeah, morning. I think I just want to chip in something. I think the hotels should be able to help themselves. If somebody is checking out of the hotel, there should be a check before the person goes out. I had an incident where I had to ask the receptionist. Somebody was checking out, and I discovered that he actually moved in with a lady. And I asked the person when he was checking out, did you find out whether the lady that is still in there is still alive?
Right.
They had to put a call across to an intercom. And the lady picked, and that was it.
Right.
So they could possibly help themselves. The CCTV wouldn't capture when somebody is harming another person in the room.
That's true.
But they could find out by putting a call or even following the person back to the room to find out whether your partner is still there or not.
Right, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Davis,
we have a message from Chike on WhatsApp. It says, even without and with camera, police can and should do a proper investigation. It says the police is looking suspicious in this. Okay, thank you.
Let's talk to Temi Tokbe. He's reaching us from Ikoyi. Temi Tokbe, good morning to you.
Good morning. My name is Temi Tokbe. I'm calling from Ikoyi.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it's a serious incident that is happening. And I think that your reporter has actually, his last comment actually made a great deal of sense in the sense that what we need to do is profiling. But again, because there are pointers to the fact that these guys, the target may be sex workers, that information is also very critical.
Yes.
And because, again, sex work is not legalized in Nigeria.
That's
it's
right.
difficult to protect people who are doing things that are illegal.
Right.
It becomes more difficult. And I think that the lawyer needs to take note of that, and so that people are educated and they know what is right to do and know when it's easier for them to be protected and when it becomes more difficult for them to be protected.
Right.
That's why that information is necessary.
Okay, thank you so very much for your comment. We appreciate it. We have Emeka from Lagos Island. Emeka, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Nice topic this morning.
Thank you.
But I want the world on Nigeria to understand that most of all these girls, they are the people that pay for their room by themselves. Do you understand? And they can.
How did you come about that information?
See, this Lagos, that is what is really happening now.
Okay.
Girls go to the hotel. All this hotel, you think that maybe there's not even hidden ones. They pay for the rooms by themselves, like 2 in one room. One can go to and can go and meet his boyfriend later on. One can be in the hotel welcoming men. So it's a very and this is why national ID card in abroad, everybody that comes to the hotel drops a card that belongs to him.
Right, to
That's the national
identify
ID
them.
card. You understand? For identify when you are going, you pick it up. There's nothing there. Prostitution is all over the world. Nigeria is not even practice prostitution itself. It's just that we don't have data. Data is the problem of this country. Have a nice day.
Thank you so
Thank you
very
for
much.
calling.
Can we squeeze in a final call?
Yeah, I think we can. Let's see who this is. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Please keep it to 30 seconds. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Harcourt, speaking on the line.
Welcome.
What is happening in Port Harcourt, actually, the police are not sincere with themselves. Because police commissioner cannot tell me, actually, that he has not slept with a sex worker.
Oh my goodness. I think we can wrap up the show on this note. That was pretty hilarious. Oh no, we must go now. He says we can't go. Well, we must go now. We're totally out of time. You can hear that Mrs. Idono is extension of time. Well, we have the news coming. We have the news coming up. You can hear that Rotary Rita Mali Kembeze Idono is a full-blooded activist. Thank you so much for joining the show today.
Thank you.
Emmanuel Ouka also following this story for us in Port Harcourt. Emmanuel, thank you.
We'll do more.
We're doing more on social media. Follow us on all of our handles and you can get updates right live there as the stories break. It's been a fantastic conversation today. We hope that the police will get on top of this and that the killings will stop. A word of advice also, especially for ladies and men, especially for those doing business. Make sure that if you're delivering, that you stay in a safe place for the delivery.
Right.
Okay?
Just be safe, be security conscious.
Right.
If you're not security conscious before now, it's time you started being security conscious.
Pay
It's
attention
very
to
vital.
it. Right.
Very, very vital. Every single detail matters.
Big thanks to Sheriff Lawal who assists us with all of those audio, and also to all of those who assisted, Yvonne Hoefor, Tose Akinride, and Zainab Yakid. We'll see you again tomorrow morning. It's been fantastic. Let's keep talking on social media. I'm there as Wemimo Sport, and I'm Wemimo Adewuni.
I'm there as well. All the platforms as Sheriff Quadry, and I am Sheriff Quadry.
We'll see you tomorrow.
From your #1 talk news and sports station. This is the Morning Crossfire with Wemimo and Sheriff.